Okay, so I am re-recording this presentation because the first one's video didn't turn out very good. So I'll start off. I don't have a partner. He, I guess, is not in this class anymore. So I start off here in humanoid view. The program executes start program view, and that is right here. Start program view, asks the player to enter their name, displays the banner, display program view. If you press Q, it quits. Let's see here. So it gets the player name. If it's a blank value, it says that it cannot be a blank value, or if it's less than 2 characters, it's going to say it needs to be longer, and then it creates a player with the player name, with player name as the variable, and an error if it doesn't work. Then it displays a banner with the name in the banner, and then sends you to main menu view. Main menu view is just a pretty basic menu. There's start game, load game, help menu, save game, and quit. So it prints that. If you press Q, it quits. It's got the user input function, which gets the user input, asks for an option, makes sure that it's the correct value or a correct value, and if it's not, it gives you an error. And then down here, depending on what you chose, it'll send you to these functions depending on the letter that you chose. These functions will be down here, this meaning this class. If you choose the wrong letter, then it'll tell you invalid selection. So it creates a new game in the control, humanoid type view. So it runs humanoid type view. Humanoid type view is just something that I have going on at the beginning of the game. You have to choose what type of humanoid you are, and if you are not that humanoid, then you are against the other two. Or if you choose one, then you're against the other two. So it asks you what type to choose. Same kind of thing, it's just the menus. Got the get input, the do action, invalid selection, display next view. So when you choose these, it sends you these functions. These functions are right here. So if you chose humanoid 1, congratulations, you are now humanoid 1. It's got it for all three, and then display next view, game menu view. Okay, so game menu view is another basic menu. Explore location, help menu, main menu. So it starts out by printing that. If you press Q, it'll quit. I should probably take some of those out if they are not in these options. So the get input, it gets the input, same thing. Switch, it has a bunch of different options here. Sends you to these locations. Some of them are down here, and some of them are just right here that send you over to a new view. So that I have the help menu view done, I have the main menu view, and let's see here, new location view. So you choose your option, it'll send you there. Let's do new location view. New location view, this is just something I've got going on so I can choose a location while I'm using the console. Just basic, choose your options here. Same thing, basic menu, enter user input. I have all of these. I don't have the view class set up yet over here because I don't want a huge list of places. So, but I do have some of these done. I have gold mine view done, iron shop, gun shop, and forest. And 3 of those are the ones that require you to have a complex equation. That's forest view, gun shop view, and iron shop view. And then the gold mine view is just a normal one that I have done. So it chooses that. It'll send you to, let's choose one. What is this? Let's choose gun shop view, I guess. Okay, so gives you a little questionnaire or a little story problem there. Has you tells you that you can input numbers 1 through 5 or 10 through 20 for each variable, and then sends you to, or sets the variable as get mags input, which is right here. So mags will equal whatever the user inputs, and if it's an invalid value, it will tell them they have to put in a valid value. It does that for each of these. You can forget answer, and then the do action. So if the answers both match, the one that the computer generates and the one that the user types in, if both of those match, it'll send you to this.correct, and if they don't match, it'll send you to this.incorrect, and then it'll send you to game menu view. Correct, it just tells you congratulations, you won this gunpowder, and then incorrect, better luck next time. Game menu view. So pretty much got all that covered. Let's see, location control tests. These are the tests for each of the math calculations. I have over here, these are my matrix, test matrix. I have each of the values. Let's see, gun shop. Or that's at the top. Right here. Okay, so there's a 3, a 15, and a 120, and then the answer is 5400. And if the user inputs all those and the calculation goes right, then the test will pass. Let's see, I can run the test now. And it passed all the tests. And I also did input the invalid ones. I just don't have them all up right now running, but they do work. So this is where all of the integers all of the variables are stored. You can get the variable, or you can set the variable from another function using these functions down here. Location control, this is where I have my the math problems. If the user enters the right information, the numbers between 1 and 5 and 10, and between 10 and 20, they enter the correct numbers, then it will do this math problem here, and then it'll return the output, and if the output matches back in the calculation or in the view class, then it will return that you got it correct. If not, then it'll return a -1 and they won't match, and the user won't get it correct. Let's see, what else is there? Scope and lifespan of a variable. The scope of a variable, pretty much, like these variables are only supposed to be used in this class, but since these are public, these functions are used in this class and can be accessed somewhere else. So that it can still store the information in these variables. lifespan of a variable. Some variables don't, like when they're passed by value, they're in the function when the function's being used, but then when they're not stored. A pass by value, only primitive data types can be passed by value. Primitive data types are like integers, anything pretty much except for objects or arrays, just the normal data types pretty much. Pass by value, pretty much if you pass it by value, you'll have a function that'll call it. Say this is the function that calls it, and then in the parameters you'll have the three parameters. It'll get called, the variables will be stored in the function above, and when it calls this, it stores more variables in this same function. So if it was saying that mag should be equal to 12, it's pretty much like writing mags equals 12, but except not only when the function's running is it like that. Otherwise, those variables don't really exist. Pass by reference, an array or an object, those are non-primitive data types. They're pretty much stored in one location. So, like if this was like an array or something, it would be stored here, and it could be used over here, but when you're done using it, it's going to be that same number it's going to be that same data that it was when you were using it up here. You pretty much don't have to pass it back somehow. It's only stored in one location, and if it's altered, then it is altered. Let's see. Okay, I think that's about it for my presentation. Thank you very much.